Have you ever had this problem? Do you have a kitchen but you don't use it? Or you have a kitchen and you immediately regret using it every single time? Maybe you are a young adult moving out for the first time. Maybe you are a newlywed or a college graduate, or maybe you just want to learn how to cook. Let me tell you, I got you. I have been there. I have been confused in the kitchen, not knowing what to do. My name is Bree McCoy, and I am the author of The Cook's Book. And here are 10 things I wish I knew as a new home cook. Come with me. Number 1, you are the most important thing in the kitchen. When I first started learning to cook, I thought the thing that would make me a really good home chef was the most expensive pan or the fanciest ingredients, but none of those helped me become a good home chef as much as trusting myself. I love a good cookbook. As you can see, they're pretty, they're helpful, and they're useful. And this leads me to point number 2. A recipe is a compass, not a GPS. It does not have to be the law. If you have to pivot, if you want to add more salt or less heat, you are in control and you can do that. Recipes are nice to have, but they don't have to be the end-all be-all when you're cooking. When I first started learning to cook, I thought more was more. More salt, more spice, more seasoning, only to find out at the end of the dish that it tasted not good. It needed less of everything. And that brings me to my third point. Addition is easier in cooking than subtraction. It is easier to go back at the end of the dish and add more salt if you need it, or add a little bit more spice if you need it, than it is to try to take saltiness or spiciness away. If you've watched any Food TV Network show or any cooking show, you've probably heard that you need to taste as you go, and that is an excellent tip. But also, let's bring all of our senses that we have available to us to cooking, not just tasting. And that brings me to point number 4. Use all your senses while you bring a meal together. I'm talking about touch. I can tell just by touching this lemon, okay, she's hard. I'm not gonna get a lot of juice from her. I can see from this avocado that it is almost ripe. It is a nice dark green color. And by using my sense of smell, oh, this cilantro is fresh. And I actually probably only need to use a little bit of it because it is also pungent. And lastly, of course, we love to taste. Oh, she's juicy. These are all salt, but not all salt is the same. They all might look similar. They might even have similar personalities, but they are very different. And you might have a favorite. I do. This is point number 5. Not all salt is the same. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I was just casually sitting on my kitchen floor reading my cookbooks. Isn't that something you do? Obviously, I'm being ridiculous. I do not sit on my kitchen floor and read cookbooks. It's uncomfortable and, quite frankly, probably unsanitary. But that is something that I have found when it comes to cookbooks and reading them and cooking from them, is sometimes it can feel pretty pretentious, but it doesn't have to be. It can be easy and it can be enjoyable, which brings me to point number 6. Read your recipe before you start cooking, and that will give you an easy kitchen win. Scout, you wanna come read the recipe with me? Number 7, and this one's easy, it's just cook early. Too often we think, or at least I thought, that I had to get in the kitchen no earlier than 6 p.m. to start dinner when I was already tired and I was already hungry. But once I started to move that timeline up a little bit, I was able to cook dinner earlier, I wasn't as tired, I wasn't as hungry, and dinner was delicious. Number 8, a sharp knife is the best sous chef. Sure, we'd all love to pay for an in-home chef, but I am telling you, if you have a sharp chef's knife, you will see how quickly your meals can come together. Number 9, if you need a kitchen win, start simple. You can do something as easy as buying a pre-made rotisserie chicken, maybe making just a few side dishes, but then buying something that's already cooked, or even if you just want to DoorDash something and then throw a dessert together. Start simple, and that will help you build confidence. Lastly, mistakes are the best teachers in the kitchen. Listen, I don't love having mistakes when I'm cooking a meal, but it means that I basically enrolled in a course that I just graduated from. It's really the reason why I created the Cook's Book. It has everything in here that I wish I knew when I was starting to learn how to cook, from techniques to tips to recipes you'll want to repeat again and again. This is going to be your new kitchen bestie.